What's up guys, QuarterHoarder here. You know, several years ago I did a review video on a low budget pinpointer by a company called Dr Otek. And in the review I said some things that I liked about it and some things I didn't like about it, and hopefully the good old people at Dr O listened, because they just came out with a brand new pinpointer, the MT6 Pro. And even though I never figured out who Dr Otek is or what he's a doctor of, pinpointology, I don't know, let's see if they took our advice and added what we needed to be added in this pinpointer. So let's open this puppy up and see what it can do. So here it is, the new MT6 Pro by Dr Otek. What can this thing do? Well, let's take a look at the box. Well, it runs on a 10 kilohertz frequency, has a 2-button operation, a maximum coin detection depth of 4.7 inches. Holy cow, we're going to test that out. The LCD screen that'll show the signal strength, and it does take one 9-volt battery included in the box. Now, if anyone saw the old review I did on their precursor pinpointer, I have it here. This thing was enormous. It looks like a wine bottle. It reminds me of a bowling pin or something. The new one, much smaller, fits in your hand very nicely. This old one never liked it. In fact, it broke after about 4 months. So let's see what kind of improvements they made on the MT6 Pro. So what exactly is a pinpointer anyway? And do you really even need one? Well, if you plan on metal detecting, you're going to hope to swing your coil over a target that might just sound something like this. Then you're going to cut your plug or circumference around the outside of your target that could be 10, 11 inches across. You'll flip that plug over, and most times you won't be able to see the item because everything is covered in dirt. And this is where you'll use your pinpointer. It'll help you detect the last inch or two so you can get your shovel behind the item and pop it out without damaging it. It makes the whole process faster and more efficient, and it'll save you the hassle of possibly damaging a priceless item. Well, before we test it, let's familiarize ourselves with the Dr Otek pinpointer. This top piece here is the probe that you're going to actually do the detecting with. It has 360 degrees of detection, so if your target's on the top, on the bottom, or out in front, it'll pick it up just the same. It is the most sensitive up near the tip, but that's the part you're going to put in the ground anyway. On the underside is this scraping tool that'll help you dig through the dirt, and on the back side are some measurements to kind of help you with your depth. Up near the base there's a flashlight that you can turn on or off. On the front is a speaker, an LCD screen that'll show you your range from the target, 2-button controls that do everything, and under the butt cap a 9-volt battery slides right in, and it is waterproof with a rubber gasket when you cinch this thing on tight. Huge improvement over the last model. Also comes with this little lanyard that slides into this butt cap, and it does have a carabiner on the end. And it also comes with this little belt holster. It'll slide right on your belt and buckle down, so you always have Mr. Otek at your side. Excuse me, Dr. Otek. So let's fire up the Dr Otek, and I'm going to do this inside only so there's no glare on the LCD screen. To turn it on, like I said, there's only 2 buttons. The bottommost button is your power button, so press that once and you're going to hear 3 beeps. And now it's on. Now the Dr Otek pinpointer has 3 different detection modes. You're always going to see the range on your LCD screen. It has an audible beep that you will hear with your ears, and it has a vibration mode that you will feel vigorously shake as you get closer. Ooh, vigorously. I'm using big words to impress the doctor. But right now all 3 modes are on, so as my metal target gets closer, you'll see the LCD screen increase. You'll hear audibly it gets more rapid, and I can feel the vigorous shake as it gets closer. I said vigorous again. And that's pretty much how it works. I can cycle through the modes if I press the power button once. Now I can still hear it, but it's not vibrating. It's only visual and audible. I can press it again. It turns off the noise, but it still is vibrating. And you can see the LCD screen. And then I can go back to all 3 again. That's it. It's that simple. The other button is an interference cancellation button. If you get near high power lines or maybe your detector itself, you push this top button, you'll see the light turn green, and that's going to try to help you eliminate some interference. You lose a little bit of depth when you're in this mode. I'm not sure how well it works. I wasn't getting interference in the first place, but it's a nice little feature to have on there. For now, I'm going to turn it off. And you can see the flashlight on right now. If you want to turn it off, you double press the power button. Now the flashlight's off, save you a little battery, but if you need it, right back on again. Does work pretty good. Does shine some light on the ground. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. On, off, visually, audibly, and touchably. I don't know what the word is. But those three modes, you're going to give yourself a chance to find some pretty cool stuff. So let's check out the depth on this Dr. Otek pinpointer. I set up at the beginning of the ruler. It says it can hit 4.75 inches, which is quite a distance, especially for a lower budget pinpointer. But let's see how it does. I'm going to check a small Jacksonian copper button, a silver mercury dime, 14 karat gold cufflink, and then a big silver $50. So I'm not going to test a gazillion different things. Let's turn it on. And you might not be able to see the screen because of the sun glare, but we're just going to listen for the tone. Detecting is all about listening to tones anyway. Let's start with the little guy, the little button. Here we go. 4.75 inches would be here, but this is very tiny. Right there. About 1.75 inches. Not bad. This is small. Let's try a silver mercury dime. This should be able to hit it at least 2, I would think. Just at 2. Maybe a little bit under 2. 14 karat gold cufflink, going back to the early 1800s, one of my favorite gold finds. Has a big surface area though. About 1.75 inches, not bad. And then the big $50. Let's see if this thing can hit 4.75. I'm not sure. Good luck, Dr. O. Well, nope. All right, about 2 1/4, maybe 2 1/2. Still not bad. 2 1/2 inches on a $50. Not too bad for a pretty affordable pinpointer. And for an inexpensive pinpointer, the whole thing is completely submersible. I think down to about 10 feet. I play with it a little bit already, and you'll see that Dr. Otek floats. But if I hold it to the bottom, try to let water get into that speaker port, maybe through the buttons. But when I pull it out, still working. Good job. All right, well, let me give my pros, cons, and final thoughts on the Dr. Otek MT6 pinpointer. Well, pros, it has everything you would need in a good quality pinpointer. It gives off loud, audible beeps that get more rapid as you close into your target. An innovative visual range display that increases and decreases with target proximity. And a cool gyrating vibration that really grabs your attention. And I really like that you can turn off the audio alert. Some people like to detect and not draw attention to themselves, so if they can do it in quiet mode, it's going to give them peace of mind. And the overall design of the Dr. Otek, it's really nice. It's contoured well for your hand and not bulky or oversized. And the buttons, they're not complicated. They're positioned well for easy one-hand access. Well, one thumb, really. And being completely submersible is always a plus. If I get caught in the rain or accidentally drop it in a puddle, it's one less piece of equipment I need to worry about. And lastly, the price. Similar pinpointers that have all the features the Dr. Otek has would be $100 and up. But the MT6 Pro has a retail price of $49.99, and they're doing an early bird special right now. If you follow the link in the description, you can save an additional 30% off. That's $35, but the 30% off is a very limited time offer, so shoot over there like a bunny and grab that special price while you can. All right, well, that means I gotta have some cons, right? I don't have a ton. I only really have 2 cons. Con number 1, the quality of the buttons themselves. Instead of being form-fitting rubberized buttons, they're both just loose plastic caps that rattle around in their allotted slots. These buttons will get constant use, and I'm a little worried they might just pop off one day. And con number 2, which is my biggest gripe, unfortunately, is the thing is not really a pinpointer. It's more of a vicinity pointer. There's just no differentiating from when your target's an inch away to when it's actually touching the thing. Now you might think I'm nitpicking, but a pinpointer by definition should point to the tip of a pin. An improvement would be if it gave off a solid tone or maybe some sort of indicator on the LED screen so you know when you're actually touching the item. Because without that, you can't really pinpoint where it is. Some higher end pinpointers can be retuned on the fly or maybe have their sensitivity adjusted, but the Dr. Otek pinpointer does not support retuning and there is no sensitivity adjustment, so that last inch is always going to be a bit of a mystery. So my final thoughts? Well, if you're a beginner detectorist or just somebody on a tight budget, this pinpointer is going to get the job done, and it's going to be a huge benefit than if you had no pinpointer at all. It's super easy to use if you're going to gift it to a youngster or maybe somebody who's not comfortable with complicated technology. There's no unnecessary buttons on here. Cut and dry, easy to use, gets you right to the point. A good pinpointer is going to save you countless hours in the field, and the faster you can get your target out, the faster you can go search for more. If you have any questions, you can always email me and I'll try to help you out. But otherwise, thanks for watching, everybody. Good luck out there in your hunting, and I will see you on the next one. Later.